Hola a todos! So, the large majority of people find the skill of listening at both GCSE and A-Level difficult, but one way to improve is by doing more practice with it. So, in this video, I will go through 5 different podcasts and 4 different YouTube channels, all of which are a great way to practice listening comprehension. As a Year 12 student, I personally try to listen to at least 2 podcast episodes a week, usually before going to bed, and dozens of Spanish videos throughout the week. I have found this to be the best way to practice listening and pick up new words. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can write down any new words or phrases you encounter, and then create flashcards with those. I like to use Anki for my flashcards. Firstly, we are going to talk about podcasts. All of these 4 podcasts that I will tell you about are all aimed for high beginner to intermediate level learners, so perfect for GCSE and A-level Spanish students. Not all of the podcasts are necessarily in the Spanish accent, but these are all podcasts I personally listen to and I have no problem understanding them, so they should be fine for you. First up, we have Chill Spanish Listening Practice by Anthony Morey. As it says in the name, it's a very relaxed podcast with a singular host. There are over 140 episodes, with some of my favorites being number 137, one I listened to recently about moving and how to use the verb mudarse, and number 133, all about Spain. His episodes are quite short, usually under 10 minutes. The second podcast that I want to mention is How to Spanish Lessons and Podcast. This is hosted by a Mexican couple, David and Anna. I mostly watch this podcast on YouTube, but it is available on other podcast platforms as well. Their episodes are usually about different cultures and traditions around the world, and other daily topics. The episodes are about half an hour long and great to chuckle in the background while you're doing something else. The third podcast that I recommend is Simple Stories in Spanish by the Small Town Spanish Teacher. Her episodes are quite short and a digestible length, where in each episode she tells a usually fictional story. Her pronunciation is incredibly clear, and at the beginning of each episode she goes through some new vocabulary that you will hear in the stories. Also, like a lot of these podcasts, she has transcripts for every episode on her website, which is useful if you want to practice reading too. Next up, another podcast that I listen to and recommend to all of you is Coffee Break Spanish. The hosts speak super clearly and slowly and translate any words they think you might not know. In each episode, the 2 hosts go through a piece of text and analyze it, teaching the listeners about the vocabulary and complex structures in the text. They have 5 seasons and the difficulty increases with each season. Last but not least, the 5th podcast is Españolistos. It is hosted by Nate, an American non-native Spanish speaker, and Andrea, a Colombian native. The episodes are about 30 minutes long and cover a lot of day-to-day topics, and this podcast I specifically like because there's always so much new vocabulary I pick up when listening. Now moving on to YouTube channels. Genuinely, my favorite probably resource as a whole for Spanish consumption is Dreaming Spanish. The videos are created by Spanish natives from across the Spanish-speaking world, and they have videos at all fluency levels. The channel has over 900 quite long and high-quality videos for you to practice listening with. They use the principle of comprehensible input, so all the videos are completely in Spanish and they use drawings and visuals to help you learn the meaning of new words without having to search them up in a dictionary. This and the next channel I'm going to mention were the only 2 I used during my GCSEs. The others I've started using more recently. Easy Spanish is a channel I've been watching for a super long time. Their videos are interviews with people on the streets, which means you get to hear real Spanish that's used, including slang. Their videos are all subtitled in Spanish and English. If you're a GCSE student, then aim to watch an Easy Spanish video and Dreaming Spanish video at least twice or thrice a week, and that should get you feeling more confident for the listening exam. Next, I'm going to mention the channel Beyond Words. She makes around 10-minute videos on lifestyle content. The videos are not targeted at Spanish learners, so her intonation and vocabulary is more of that of a regular speaker. This is great to emulate how the listening audio may sound in the exam hall. If you like this sort of productivity self-care videos, then you will really enjoy her stuff and practice listening at the same time. Finally, I want to recommend the channel Spanish After Hours. The host, Laura, makes videos that are aimed at Spanish learners. Her videos are about day-to-day topics and usually have an entertaining twist. Some of my favorite videos from her are Spanish vlogs. I think the most important thing when consuming Spanish, whether that be news or videos or podcasts, is that you should really enjoy what you're listening to or reading to, whatever it might be, and it shouldn't feel like a chore. That is the best and probably the easiest way to get better at Spanish. It should feel like your vocabulary knowledge is almost increasing naturally. That concludes my list of the top podcasts and YouTube channels for Spanish listening practice. If you found this video particularly helpful, then I might do one on movies and TV series next. Do let me know in the comments if that is something you would like to see. Apart from that, check out my website for GCSE and A-Level Spanish resources. Adios.